This is The Follow Through. I'm Pastor Fred, and hit that subscribe button. Share this with somebody. We are listening to God, living for Him, and we're learning how to read the Bible today. Now, for some of you that might be old hat, and you're like, man, I know what I'm doing, then please share this with somebody. Walk through maybe this passage with somebody. Help them. That's so important. I think far too many times we're like, man, I know it. That's good. I would rather do and say, look, wow, that was really helpful. I'm going to share that with somebody. Right? I'm going to walk through that passage with somebody who really maybe is afraid of the Bible. A lot of folks like that. Maybe that's you. I want to take away that fear and realize and help you realize this is your Father talking to you. That's really what it is. That's why we listen to it. That's why we get into it. And here's that image from the word itself. Psalm 23, again, a passage most of us have heard of, right? The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want, right? Real simple. You've probably seen it on needlepoint in somebody's house, on a bumper sticker, a t-shirt, a greeting card. You've heard it maybe if you went to a funeral and the pastor preached on that the Lord is our shepherd even though we go through the valley of the shadow of death, right? We know these words. We hear them. Even if you haven't read the Bible or know a friend that hasn't, they probably have heard that image of God being our shepherd. And David, the one who wrote this, was a shepherd. Before he was king, he was a shepherd. He was a little shepherd boy, remember? Took out Goliath and he did all of that. So he knows a thing or two about God's power and God's ability, because he was almost overlooked for the job of king because he was so small, because he was so young. See, but he learned something we all got to learn. And it's something we need to take into our reading of the Bible, and that is that God is the one who makes things happen. God is the one who turns on the light bulbs in your mind and in your heart and in your soul to where you get what He is saying. And it makes sense, not just mentally or intellectually, but it makes sense spiritually. You're like, yes, this is for me. This is God talking to me. This is what He's saying. And here He's saying that we have a shepherd. Now, again, that's the good news. The bad news is that He's saying that we're sheep. And as of late, that has become a kind of like fighting words. People will call others sheeple, right? You probably heard that phrase. And that's people who just, without questioning, without just kind of in a very stupid way following either a government or whatever. And that's typically how it's framed, right? But it's true about us. Like without God, we got nothing. No, that's not to say that we can't do incredible things. It doesn't mean that we can't make great music or run governments or run businesses or work at businesses or contribute, raise kids, go to school and do all these things. We can do those things. But when it comes to the things of God, is what I'm saying, we need Him 100%. And in fact, I think for all those other things, we need Him as well. And you see what we do? We want to kind of say, thanks God, great, cool, I'll take it from here. But shepherds and sheep are doing life together, right? The shepherd is leading the sheep to where they need to eat. He's protecting them. He's there. He cares about them. He's not going to leave them unprotected. He's not going to leave them in a vulnerable situation. He's there. He goes to bat for them. In fact, the one that we're talking about, God as the shepherd, actually lays His life down for His sheep. He actually allows Himself to be killed for us. That's what Jesus did. Because Jesus is the great shepherd. You see how the Bible, this is another Bible point that I want you to get, is that Scripture just connects up in so many ways, right? So you have this shepherd here in Psalm 23, and Jesus saying in John's Gospel, I'm the good shepherd. I lay my life down for my sheep. Wow, good shepherd. And the Lord is my shepherd, right? It's two different time frames, but God and Jesus are in the middle of all of it. See, that's why we get into Scripture, because I need to hear the word of my shepherd. That's how it works. Jesus actually said, my sheep, they know my voice. The only way to know the voice is right here. Because I could say, no, that sounds like God, or no, that does not sound like God. When somebody comes at you with something, oh, well, God would never do this. And you'd say, well, actually, when I look at Scripture here, He loves people who are a complete mess. A lot of people don't believe that, but it's in Scripture. He dies for people who would be His enemies, right? He guides sheep that have no sense, and they get lost and they get hurt. And without rescue, they die. And that's us. So I want us to see in all of Scripture this shepherd. Be looking for it as you read the Bible. Be looking for how God is going to lead you, how He guides you, and how He's with you. All right? Have a great one, and we'll talk to you next time.